Fernando up so he can talk about his fit for purpose survey results and how we're understanding a little bit more about the folks who come.
Hello. So first, does everyone have one of these? Okay, you can get one. Maybe Schumann and Allen can pass them around. Closer like this? All right. All right, so what is this? This is a form that asks you about your reasons to be here today. So I will ask you actually to spend a few seconds now thinking about that and maybe filling up the first part, the first 3 lines. So the first thing this does, this form asks you to record up to 3 reasons you had to come here today. So why did you come? What made you come here? What made you wake up today in the morning and say, I'm going to Systems Thinking TO tonight? Up to 3. You maybe have only 1, maybe you have 2 or 3, it doesn't matter. So just write them here. And eventually, after the session is over, you can enter a score for each of those. And the scale for the score is here at the top, from 0 to 5. And also, you can give us a story. So why did you give us that score? So if you give us a 3, why is it a 3? If it's a 0, why is it a 0? What's the reason? Even if it's a 5, if you really liked it, why is it a 5? And that will tell us something about your purpose to be here and what the reasons are behind it and whether this session is actually meeting your expectation. And that's the point. So this is called a Fit for Purpose survey, or F4P. The whole idea comes from this book. It's called Fitness for Purpose, Fit for Purpose, by David Anderson and Alexis Zeglov. Alexis is actually part of our community. He's from Waterloo. He is the one on the green shirt here. So Loyalty One here run a book club on this. So there are other people here in the room you can ask about this. So Alexis is the one on the green shirt in the middle. So what do we do with all this? Well, we compile the information and we get a number that looks like that. So that is called a Fit for Purpose box score. So the numbers on the square brackets are percentages. They tell us percentages of fit, unfit, and neutral results with respect to the purpose. So maybe let me go to the other side of the picture, the numbers in the parentheses. So this tells us that there were 53 people attending the meetup. 27 of them gave us the result back. So we have a 50% response rate, more or less. And they reported 13 different purposes to be here. Of those 13 purposes, 87% thought the meeting was fit for that purpose, so they got value out of this. 4% thought it was unfit, so some of those purposes weren't met. And for 9% of those purposes weren't just neither fit or unfit, is kind of in the middle, neutral. So what were those purposes? So we can also cluster all these people based on the purpose they provide us, and these are the top that came up. So as you can see, the reason number 1 for people coming here is networking with others, connecting with other people. And you can see the score for that particular purpose. So in this case, what that tells you is of the 27 people who actually replied the score, 11 people had this purpose, and those are the percentages. So 73% is, that's the fitness level for this. So if you look at the numbers, it means that for all the purposes, for all the top purposes, people found this fit. There are some numbers of unfit. So for example, the last one, learn about complexity, for example, there's a 33%. A third of people actually said, well, it wasn't really what I expected. Right? Now we can go even further. We can start clustering the stories, because actually what we want to learn at the end is who comes here to this meeting, so we can understand better the audience. So that's the purpose behind this. So based on the replies, we can just cluster all these people in different segments or categories. So people who are learners, they come here because they want to learn, or they want to socialize. They want to be teachers because they want to teach this stuff to others. So you can see here how things distribute. Now, this is when it gets interesting, because we want to see how this trends over time. So as Chris mentioned at the beginning, we started this by saying we are here to learn, to have fun, and to make a difference. So that's aligned very closely with the first 2, actually. And as you can see, the number is pretty interesting. It's pretty fit. So for that purpose, people are finding this very fit. Now, there is some level of unsatisfaction when it comes to that, but it's rather small. Although for the social axis is bigger, so you can see that 19% of, well, it's neutral, which means that there is something to do, something to be done there to maybe bring them over or understand why it's not. The reason I highlighted in the line number 4, the teachers, so we have only 2 people who reported that purpose. That's a segment we actually want to grow. We want this to become, we want to hear more from other people, so there is more sharing of experience. So that's other information we get from here. Somehow we need to do some activity that will help us get this segment growing. And finally, if you look at the form again, there is a section for explaining why you gave us the score, because that explains the numbers. That helps us compile things like this, these micro-narratives. So what are people saying about the reasons behind a given score? So as you can see here, one of the things I started noticing is for the people who said the meanings or the purpose was unfit, most of the reason had to do with time, and the time is not because of so it's not because of the content. It's not the content is unfit. They were thinking that maybe we should spend more time on this. So that's one thing. But the other one that was interesting is the last one. So somebody said that the learning purpose was unfit, and the reason was that so far they see this as too theoretical. They're saying, well, we would like to see more practical stuff, more applications. So that's information that tells us in which direction this should move, right? All right. So that's essentially a quick summary of how this framework works and what's the importance, or why it's important for you to fill up that form. Yes. Mm-hmm.
To understand what. Thank you. I'm awake now. On the theme of teachers and having more teachers come out, do you do any surveys around what specific aspects people want to know about systems thinking?
No, and that's why these narratives are so important. So most people didn't actually provide any comments, so we don't really know. So we see the purpose. We can infer that these people are saying that they would like to teach, but we don't really know what. And there are people who are saying we want to learn. They are not telling us what they want to learn, right? Maybe because you don't know. So that's why it's so important for people to provide these narratives that will give us insights on that. All right. Cool. Thank you.